You've probably fallen from somewhere and taken a hard knock. Obviously, the height from which you fall battery is an important factor that can indicate the damage someone can sustain. In fact, if you fall from a height of 60 meters or more, you reach the terminal velocity of a human being, which is around 200 kilometers per hour. This means that from 60 meters onwards, the height no longer matters. In other words, you can fall from 500 meters and your speed will still be 200 kilometers per hour due to the effect of the air. But even so, there are people who have survived. So from what exact height is there no way to survive? Today we are going to go up level by level from a simple stumble to a fall that is impossible to survive, always under the best possible conditions, a relaxed body, good position, and optimal cushioning. This video is purely informative and scientific in nature. It does not seek to glorify or encourage dangerous behavior, only to explore our limits. Level 1, 0.5 meters. This can happen from a knee stumble. Falling from half a meter sounds ridiculous, but it's the kind of fall we've all had. You trip over the leg of the bed or a misplaced step. Consequences: a scrape, a nervous giggle, or a direct blow to the shin that makes you see stars. At this height, your body barely generates kinetic energy. It's like dropping a tennis ball. It bounces, but it doesn't break. Level 2, 1 meter. 1 meter starts to hurt. It's like standing on a chair and being thrown off. In healthy adults, it's still tolerable, but if you fall sideways, you can fracture your wrist or elbow. In older adults, the risk skyrockets. A fall from this height can cause a hip fracture or serious head trauma. Here, one thing becomes clear. Your position when falling matters more than the height. Level 3, 2 meters. From here on, falls start to hurt. Imagine standing on a refrigerator and letting yourself fall. There is a real risk of fracturing your ankle, ribs, or even your pelvis if you don't cushion the fall properly. You can still survive perfectly well, but you'll regret not warming up first. An interesting fact is that in several sports such as parkour and free running, 2 meters is the standard height for practice. Athletes learn to fall by rolling to dissipate the energy. Level 4, 3 meters. From here on, the body no longer absorbs the impact as well. Internal injuries, ranging from pulmonary contusions to minor abdominal hemorrhages, begin to occur frequently. If you fall on your back, you can damage your spine. Many workplace accidents occur in this range, involving people falling from ladders or medium-sized structures. Level 5, 5 meters. If you've ever climbed a tree or a rooftop to retrieve a ball, this is your level. From 5 meters, even with a controlled fall, there is a real risk of spinal fracture, broken ribs, and brain injury if you hit your head. In fact, in several trauma studies, this height marks the transition between moderate and potentially fatal injuries. Survival is possible, but remaining intact is unlikely. Level 6, 10 meters. Now we're getting into serious territory. When falling from 10 meters, your body hits the ground at about 50 kilometers per hour. It's like crashing into a concrete wall with your whole body while riding a bicycle without a helmet. The types of injuries include multiple limb fractures, chest damage, liver injuries, and even spleen rupture. There are cases of survival, but almost always with permanent loss of mobility or multiple surgeries. Level 7, 15 meters. Here, most statistics already speak of mortality. If you fall badly on your head or back, it is very unlikely that you will survive. If you fall on your feet, you might, but your legs behave like collapsing columns. The femur can fracture and push the pelvis into vital organs. Estimated impact, 65 kilometers per hour. Level 8, 25 meters. This would be like being on top of an 8-story building. From this height, the body hits the ground at almost 80 kilometers per hour. There is total collapse of the thoracic system, rupture of large blood vessels, and brain damage due to sudden deceleration. In trauma medicine, this is considered a lethal height, where only very exceptional cases survive, and always with immediate intervention. Level 9, 45 meters. Here, survival depends entirely on the environment. There are only cases of survival when the fall was slowed by branches, deep snow, or dense mud. For example, in Canada, a skier fell 40 meters down a ravine and survived because he landed on a bank of fresh, completely loose and relaxed snow. Level 10, 60 meters. Here you reach terminal velocity. You no longer accelerate. Your body falls at a constant speed, and what changes is the time of the fall, not the intensity of the impact. It no longer matters if you fall from 60 meters or from a skyscraper. The impact will be the same. The only thing that can save you is terrain that gradually absorbs the energy. As I said, branches, snow, a giant mattress, or a hill of loose earth. There is a case of a person who fell from a height of more than 10,000 meters, the case of Vesna Vulovic. In 1972, Vesna, a Serbian flight attendant, was the sole survivor of an explosion in mid-flight. She fell more than 10,000 meters inside the fuselage of the plane onto a snowy hillside. Her body was unconscious, which helped her not to tense up on impact. She had multiple fractures, but she lived perfectly well. It's not a level, it's a miracle. So from what height can you fall without dying? With luck, technique, and ideal conditions, up to 20 or even 30 meters might be possible. But most of the time, your body does not forgive mistakes greater than 10 meters. Remember that I am not romanticizing or promoting any kind of risky behavior. Science studies the limits of the body, but it also seeks to protect them. And you, from what height have you fallen? I'll read your comments. Bye-bye.